and welcome to Mike Nierychlo Online, sharing my love for people, wine, food, and all things made passionately. And of course, coming to you from our new project, the Wine Coop. If you want more information, side note on the Wine Coop, check out the new section above, the Wine Adventures of Mike and Mike. You'll learn all about what we're doing here. As you can see, we're a little bit further ahead than we were in the last episode. We're fully insulated, vapor barriered, plumbing is done, electrical is done. We're getting there. I'm super stoked for this project to get even closer to being done so we can further our hobby winemaking experience and further share it with you guys or whatever you want to call it. Super stoked for this part of the adventure. Anyway, today's episode, I'm excited to talk to you about a product that I don't think I've ever had on the show before. Today, we're talking about cider. Now, cider is the perfect pairing and fitting for this time of year, but perfect pairing for summer. It's great pairing for your patio, for your friends, for your barbecue, for a great afternoon where you're looking for a really nice, crisp, refreshing beverage. So, I was hanging out on Vancouver Island last week, visiting some family over there, and we headed up a little ways up the Saanich Peninsula, which is just north of Victoria. Victoria's kind of the main part of the island, also the capital city of British Columbia. Super place to check out. Make sure if you're ever here in Canada or near Vancouver Island, make sure you check out Victoria. It's awesome. You'll really like it there. We stopped at a place called Cider. Check out their bottle here. Cider. Tasted through their ciders. I really enjoyed all their ciders. They're a small cidery, organic cidery, making some really neat products. Now, what is cider? Most of you probably understand what cider is, but just like wine, you're fermenting grapes to make an alcoholic beverage. In this case, we're fermenting apples. Now, apples, cider has been made all around the world for hundreds of years. Super interesting product. Really expresses terroir, really expresses what the apples are trying to share with you. I really enjoy cider, especially in the summer. So, today's cider really got my attention over there because it's called the Wild English. Wild English because it's made with English cider apples. Check this out. Now, cider apples are not your typical super juicy, sweet, ripe apple. Cider apples are much more tart and acidic and crisp. Kind of that green apple flavor, that Granny Smith, very tart, very crisp style apple. Those are the kind of apples that make a really nice cider. Also makes it pair really nicely with food. Cuts through your cheeses, cuts through your fatty, greasy chicken burger. Oh, that would be awesome right now. What I like about this one, they're calling it Wild English because they allowed the wild yeasts. They didn't add some sort of designer yeast to this to get a flavor profile they're looking for. They allowed the wild yeast, the naturally occurring yeasts on the apples, to ferment this cider. In doing so, just like it does with wine, when you allow nature to make whatever product is you're making, it really, really expresses much more of the character of whatever that product's coming from or based on. So it really expresses the character of the apples. Also, it helps really express the terroir, or the sense of place that the apples are being grown in, or the grapes are being grown in. It really allows it to, I don't know, just show off its true colors, because you're letting nature, letting its own habitat create what you're trying to accomplish. Here's a thing I liked about this cider. This cider, right off the bat, when I did the tasting there, got my attention just because it was wild yeast. Got me excited. Check this out. It's not super filtered. The bottle is not clear. It's foggy. It's cloudy. It's got sediment floating around inside of it. Not thick, goopy sediment. It's not like pulpy orange juice. It's just a light amount of sediment. Please do not, don't ever, if you come across a wine or a cider that's cloudy, do not write it off. I get extra excited when I see a cloudy product. Why? When you over-filter or over-fine a wine or a cider or even a beer, you're sucking out some of the really interesting characteristics of it to try and make it look prettier. I personally, I don't know about you, this still looks amazing to me, right? And it's going to taste even better too because you're allowing it to show off everything it has to offer. You're not sucking out all the little interesting pieces that are floating around in there. Let's try some cider. Like I said, Wild English cider from Cider, 15 bucks a bottle for this 750 ml. I think I've showed you this like 3 times now. I loved it when I tried it while we were there. It's a super awesome place to stop. Super awesome place for events too. Beautiful view of the seaside, view of their orchards, nice building, and they have an awesome little bistro where you can do really intricate little tastings. Order by the small glass, a whole lineup of their different products, and you'll be really impressed. Make sure you stop by there if you're in the area. Google, actually, but below the video, I'll stick a link to the Cider website so you can check them out and learn more about them. Alright, let's see what this one's doing. Okay, right away. What does this smell like? Okay, the obvious answer to say is it does smell like apples. Duh. Okay? Smells like apples, but it's got these really interesting characteristics to it that I like, that I think are coming from the wild yeasts, allowing it to really express itself. You know when you're walking around on an early spring morning or a fall morning, it's really dewy out? Or, actually, here's a good example. When you were a kid, your parents used to rake leaves from the big maple tree or the oak tree on the corner of the property, right? And you would dive in those leaves, and the leaves were damp, kind of in the bottom of the pile. That's very similar to what this smells like. It's this fresh, crisp, like tart apple aroma meets a very like kind of damp, natural, earthy aroma. I really like that. It's got a savoriness to it. It reminds me of walking through a dewy apple orchard. I like that. So it's really expressing where it's coming from. Now it is near the sea, so I'm very curious because you're getting a lot of sea air. I do smell a hint of something kind of, I don't know if salty is the right word, but a little bit of ocean breeze. Yeah, something like that. Anyway. Now, when they make cider, you can choose to carbonate it, not carbonate it. There's all kinds of different techniques for doing that. They've chosen to carbonate this one. It's nicely carbonated. It could be a little bit less carbonated, but carbonation blows off pretty quick, and you're getting a... I personally find the bubbles, if they get too much, they take away from the flavor. I let this one open up a little bit. Bubbles dissipate a little, and you're tasting a lot more of the drink, and I really like it. What's nice about those bubbles is they do really help cut through your fatty foods. Okay. Flavors of this really kind of reflect the smells. Really nice, kind of, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of apple sauce. Not just apples, apple sauce. Unsweetened apple sauce. Really nice, really tart. This would work extremely well with like your pork dishes as well. You know how you do applesauce on pork chops? This would pair really nice with pork chops. Has that really nice, actually, like I said, that sea breeze. It's got a briny kind of flavor to it, a very savory flavor. I like this cider. I really enjoy cider. Look for cider this summer. Really delicious. Again, very nice apple play on here too. Beautiful finish. Like I said, kind of savory, natural earthy flavors. Good cider. Thank you everybody out there so much for watching today. Please check out Cider, links below the video. I will keep you updated on the progress of the wine coupe. And we'll see you on the next episode.